Hey, I'm Brian,
Hey, I'm Kristen.
and this is the Brian and Kristen podcast. And we are here today together for a change. This is episode 14, the first one we did together. And then, well, we've done all of them together, but not in person together. We've had to do it over to the internet. But today we're both in the same place once again. And Kristen, could you tell the audience why or how we became and why we're in the same place today?
Sure. So, our mom holds an annual client appreciation picnic where she makes all of the food for, I don't know, about 40 to 50 of her clients. And it's a lot of work. So, I came home and to help, and Brian got to help, and Mia Moore definitely helped.
yeah, Mia Moore was a big help on the thing. Mom went into a little speech about how helpful Mia Moore was and how, we'd love to have Mia Moore here in America, but because so many people have came into America illegally, Mia Moore can't try out for the green card. Okay, there's the green
Can't
card.
try out like it's an audition.
Yeah,
because she'd win.
Yeah,
she
would win.
Skills, cleaning skills, she'd win.
There's a lottery for people from other countries to come into America, a green card lottery. But in certain countries that have a lot of people who cross over into America, the people from those countries aren't eligible. Therefore, Mia Moore isn't eligible to win the green card lottery. But she's won enough already. She's won me. So
yikes. Did she get first place or last place?
So that was, but we had a great time at the picnic, and a lot of people were there.
I'd say close to 50 people.
50 people is a lot of work.
90 degrees outside in Ohio.
Yeah. So in Ohio, 90 degrees, pretty humid, and we're not used to 90-degree days. So they took it extra hard. I mean, I still don't think a 90-degree day at all in Ohio compares to a 90-degree Florida day.
It's true, but I packed. I forgot I was coming home, so I only had jeans and a long sleeve shirt, so that was stupid.
Yeah, that was. But we made it through, and it was a good time. And then you have to go back. We're going to do our podcast real quick, and then get you back to the airport in Columbus, and then on to the next adventure.
Exactly, flying to Denver.
Yeah, that's good. And so this week, since I'm here with you, now here's an interesting dynamic about Kristen and I. I'm older by a year and a half, right? Close to that. I'm older, but Kristen's the advice person. So I go to her for advice. Have you ever went to me for advice?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. So this week I'm going to ask her the question. So I was thinking, so I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, I was staying at your place in St. Petersburg. And
couldn't have been. I didn't live in St. Petersburg a couple years ago.
Well, whenever you moved to St. Petersburg, or I guess a year ago.
Yeah.
A year ago, right? I was there, and Mom was there. So how long ago was that?
Yeah, maybe a year and a half.
Year and a half. So Mom and I were both there. And then I woke up. I had a dream that I was wrestling in college. And then I woke up and I was crying because I was like, oh, man, I'll never wrestle in college. I always wanted to do that. Then, of course, I got on Google. And I looked up, do you remember this part? Yeah. I was looking up oldest college wrestlers. And I found two guys that were in their 40s and wrestled. The one guy hadn't won a match yet, and the other guy actually had won a couple matches. So then that got me thinking, okay, well, you can do it. People are allowed to do it if they can make the team. So then, I'm at Edison. Edison is a local community college here, which I take all online classes. And so then I'm at Edison, and I'm thinking, well, okay, if I finish this 2-year degree, which I need 5 more classes, so I'm taking 3 this semester and then 2 the next semester. And then I was like, well, then I'll have 2 years done, and I'll have 2 years I could still go to another college. I started wondering, can I make it onto a college team? Should that be something I should try? I mean, because not only did I have that dream at your house, but you have that pillow that says, if you can dream it, you can do it.
Which was a gift from Mom.
Which was a gift from Mom. So I guess she wants me to go back and so what do you think? Is that pie in the sky? Should I be thinking like that? I mean, because there's a whole other stuff I got to do with my life, but I feel like, well, I would be giving up 2 years, but not quite really 2 years, because A, I could get another degree, and B, it's like the season is about, you got about 6 months of both things. Now, if I were really a hardcore guy and I'm really doing it, then yeah, you do it all year round. But realistically, I don't know if my body really wants to do it all year round. But for a time period, could I get an actual I mean, to me, it would be like, can I actually get in a college match? And, I'm not saying I just would want to do it as another accomplishment, What do you think?
Okay, so this is Ask Kristen advice.
Yeah, I'm asking you. Okay, we're taking the audience next week. You ask the questions. This week it's me. Okay.
All right. I think the bigger question is, can you get into a 4-year school?
I think so. I mean, I'm getting messages. Because the thing is, some of these places, they think I'm like, because I'm registered at Edison, they think I'm like 18 years old. The Marines have actually called me.
Right.
And I had to tell the guy in the Marines, he says, I saw we got your information from the college, and we want to talk to young men about getting into the Marines. I said, well, appreciate you calling me a young man, but I was 43 years old.
What did he say? Oh.
He goes, well, yeah, you are a little out of our age group. so yeah, I appreciate the Marines, but I think my time to shine in that was 22 years ago. So
that was actually a joking question about, I think I would think you can get into a school. So you're asking the person that just got out of flight attendant school after wanting to have done that for many, many years. So I feel like if you feel like you have any chance at all, go for it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? You're not successful, but at least you tried. Yeah. I always don't want to look back and say, gosh, what if I would have tried? Like, what if I would have been good at that, or would have had some experience? And so that's usually the perspective that I take things. People joke about all the things that I've done. I'm like, yeah, but I just wanted to try and see if I could do it.
Right.
And that's like, what if you would never have run a marathon?
Right.
So I think if you can do it and get into it, why not try? What's the worst thing?
Yeah, the worst things I've thought about this is, it's going to be 10 times harder than anything I've ever done, including the marathons, including high school wrestling, right? Because the practices are just really hard. But so I guess the worst is, you always have a fear in the back of your head. Oh, what if? But then, see, I had that fear of injury back when I was in my 30s, and I wanted to come back and wrestle. And if I didn't get injured now, and plus the way I wrestle, I mean, knock on wood, I think I'll be okay. It's like D Hart's still doing it. I think that the way I kind of position myself, and then anything can happen. I mean, I've seen tough ass guys get hurt, so you can't really. But then, who's to say I couldn't get hurt just doing, not being on the team, going out across in the street on the day I would be on the team, right? Like,
yep.
So that's one thing. I guess it's just, kind of thinking about time. Is it a time well spent? But then it would be, because that would be a big thing to check off my to-do list. And the reality is, I only have these now. I've waited this long. I would be going into to that year of wrestling at age 45.
And then look who knows what that could spur. People will be like, oh my God, 45-year-old man makes the college team. That might be your break into the entertainment world. That's how you get on the WWE.
Yeah, totally, dude. That's how I finally get into the WWE.
Yeah, you're afraid of getting injured. Okay.
No, yeah. So now, okay. So if I made this decision to go and do it, because in my mind, because I get up, I run to Mrs. M's house, I run back, I do my pull-ups, my push-ups, my sit-ups, my squats, like I kind of do. And granted, time takes a kind of a little bit of toll. Like you got to work harder for everything, right? Your flexibility, your this, but
you don't have to look how much you've stayed in shape all this time. It's not like you're been laying on the couch for the last 20 years.
Yeah, and I'm still doing the tournaments at Spatola's every year and working out with the kids and the team. And if anything, I've gotten a lot better over the last 5 years since I've been doing the tournaments, and since I've been working with the younger wrestlers. I mean, from ages little kids to high school kids and college kids, even my technique of the moves has improved, right? And I've learned what not to do. Like, there's a whole bunch of moves that you learn that I say, I won't do that one, I won't do that one, I won't do that one. But I have my 5 or 6 that I like to do getting down pretty well at this point, especially since I came back in 2019. Right? Because I feel like in 2019, I was crawling out of bounds. I didn't really, because it'd been so long, but I'm sure there's people that beat me then that can't beat me now. Right. So, okay. So what would you do? What advice do you got if I'm going to do this, which I want to do?
Okay, well, first of all, if you want to do it, why is there even a question of if you should do it?
Yeah, you're
You
sure,
let that
right.
little bit of fear like overtake what you want to do. That's when I feel like it's like, all right, fear, I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
Because I feel like it can be such a small thing that we allow, like, well, what if I don't pass? What if I don't? And then you spend the rest of your life saying, well, what if I would have tried? So anyway, number one, I think you should do it. Number two, what are the steps? Well, find a school that you could go to. Right?
Yeah. I got to find one that would want me on the team. Or I mean, that's a problem, right?
No, I don't know. People might find it interesting that you got somebody
Well,
the oldest.
I was thinking there's a couple positives for the team if they bring me on. One, I feel a weight class. I mean, I weight class even if I got to be on the second squad. I mean, but there's also going to be a chance that one of the other guys might not be able to wrestle, the grades, injury. They might want to sit one of their guys out, put me in to fill, at least, because a pin and a forfeit is the same points.
Right.
So all I have to do is go the distance, and the team gets more points by having me on the team. Plus, I think that I could be somewhat of a good, I don't know if leader is the right word, but somewhat of a good person to keep the morale of the team going and to let those kids, hey, don't quit. You don't want to come back at 45 and do this crap.
Who's this old guy?
Yeah, they're going to say that. I mean, let's be honest. They're going to say that. So, I mean, I'll be the age of their dads.
The dads will be cheering on from the sidelines, and the dads will be jealous. They're like, God, I wish I could be doing that.
But that's another thing I think about that gets in my head a lot is that they're really going to be gunning for me, because you're not going to want to go up against an older guy, and you definitely don't want to, that could be,
So, yeah. But at the same time, I mean, I think that it also plays for you too. Like, you don't want to lose to these younger kids, even though you would have an excuse, but you can just show them.
I don't want. That's true. You don't. You're going to go out and you want to go out and do your best for your generation. Because every generation said our generation was tougher than their generation. Well, this is a chance to prove it. So, okay, I got to find a school that would say yes.
And then I would just start training for it. Like, it's already like you're already doing it, even though you're not doing it. But every day, as you do your exercises, act like you're already training to be on the team, or that you are on the team, and you're just doing your exercises like you're on the team.
That's good advice.
And practice whoever, I don't know, you got people around here that you practice with?
Yeah, go down to the gym, a no-name gym I can go to Spatola Wrestling. Now the other thing I was kind of thinking was, and this would be the final question kind of with that is, what about all the other stuff I'm doing in my life? The shows and whatnot, like stuff like that.
I mean, how badly do you want this?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to kind of put that on hold, or maybe not even put it on hold, but just do it less, because when this goes on, when I can find the school that says yes to me and get on the team, I mean, my bedtime is going to be at like 9:00. A lot of the shows don't even start till then, right?
Well, yeah, but I think when you're doing something that you really want to do, other opportunities in other areas of your life open up for you that work with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're really focusing on that one thing, it'll be like, well, here's a show that pays way better than all these other crazy ones that you were doing at 1 a.m. or whatever. So
yeah,
I feel like if you make it a priority and then build everything else around, that it would work out.
So basically, now here's the other tough part. We have all this food that mom has leftovers, and I'm gonna have to start keeping myself at a same weight,
What, for 3 days that she's got this food?
Yeah,
it's not
that's
like
true.
We got that much food here all the time.
Yeah. So basically, that's good advice, because I was listening to actually Hulk Hogan on Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, I saw Hulk Hogan magazine yesterday. I almost got it for you.
Oh, I would have.
I should have.
But he was saying something similar to what you just said, was that
Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan, yeah. He was,
Hulk Hogan and I speak the same language.
He was saying when he says his prayers, he acts like they already happened.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. One other piece of it is the visualization. They say so many athletes, the brain doesn't know whether you're actually visualizing or doing the thing. So as long as you're visualizing and seeing the positive outcome, it's like it's already happening. Your brain doesn't know the difference.
Yeah. All right. So we're getting it started. We're looking for We'll find a school that
If
wants me on
anybody
the
here
team.
knows of anybody that needs a wrestler on a college team, we found a candidate.
Yeah.
An old man.
I mean, it's going to be a good documentary.
Yeah, you never know. That could be the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We got to get Kristen to the airport, and we're exactly right at 15 minutes. So thanks for joining me, Kristen.
Yes, you're welcome. If anybody has any other questions for the Kristen column.
Yeah. Yeah. So please, if you have questions for us to answer for upcoming episodes, post them down in the, post them down in this comment section or send us a message, and we will answer them because that's what we do here. So
Until next time.
until next time, see you on the next one.
Bye.